Good day, everybody. My name is Gabriel Hikari, and today me and my groups are going to present our project for UTS EPD alongside with Khansa Namira and Rossa Renita Putri. Next. In part one, we are presented with several questions, and each of us have already picked questions that we are going to answer. Question number one, what sort of things do you do in your free time and why? In my free time, I usually draw, write some stories, watch some YouTube, and watch some anime. And sometimes I also read some mangas, comic books that actually inspired me to do a lot of things, especially on my writing. Through those medias, it actually helped me a lot on gaining much more inspirations and reference for a lot of things, such as for character building, character design, and a lot more. Second is, what type of house would you like to live in the future and why? Me personally, I would love a small house, but not a really small house. A house that can actually store all of my hobby stuff like gaming, my toys, and I want a hobby room that has a room just for designing. I really love 3D printing. I really love doing those things because it keeps me in pace on things, especially for my creativity. Next.
And then the next question is why did you choose women for a bachelor's degree? And why did you choose PCD as your major? Well, I think women is a well-respected university with a strong track record of academic excellence. It's committed to innovation and creativity, and it's constantly investing in new technologies and programs to prepare students for the future. And also, women is located in South Tangerang, which is close to my home, and this made it a convenient option for me. Then, why I choose PCD? I choose PCD because I always have been passionate about visual communication. PCD offers a variety of opportunities for students to learn and grow. And the program includes courses in graphic design, web design, animation, and video production. Students also have the opportunity to participate in partnership. And next, what is your favorite type of music and why? I love alternative pop, and the artist who embraces it is Lana Del Rey. Lately, I always listen to her music every day. Alternative pop is a genre that's both engaging and meaningful, with lyrics that often explore complex themes like love, loss, and identity. My taste in music has definitely changed over the years. When I was younger, I liked more upbeat like pop, like EDM, and dance music. But as I grew older, I came to appreciate more gentle and introspective music, and also find myself drawn to different genres of music depending on what's going on in my life. Next.
The next question is tell us about your schools from kindergarten up to the present time. So I stayed in the same school from kindergarten until high school, but it wasn't really easy to be in that school. But the teachers are nice, and not all students are nice in there. There were a lot of bullies in that school, so I wasn't really good at making friends back then. But when I reached college, I was actually happier because in campus, I'm learning to make more friends with others, and I was so happy to learn new things. For the next question, tell us something about the place where you are living at the moment. I live with my parents and two of my younger siblings in a decent, comfortable house, and I'm really grateful for it. Uh, my house located in Tangerang Selatan. Next.
And then in part two, we will talk about designs, and specifically, I will talk about various techniques used by graphic designer. Graphic designer use a variety of techniques to create visually appealing and effective designs. Some of the most common techniques include typography, color theory, layout, imagery, and negative space. In addition, these basic techniques graphic designer also use a variety of more specialist techniques, such as vector graphics, raster graphics, 3D graphics, and motion graphics. And the specific techniques that graphic designer use will depend on the project and the desired outcome. For example, a graphic designer creating a logo might use vector graphics to create scalable images that can be used at a different sizes. A graphic designer creating a website might use motion graphics to create animated elements that engage visitors. And graphic designer use these techniques to create designs that are both visually appealing and effective. Next.
Next is I'm going to talk about types of graphic design software. As a graphic design student, I encounter a lot of softwares for designing, and each software has their own specific purposes. Usually the software that we use in for studying designs are from Adobe because Adobe is much more commonly used and more widely known. It already has become the benchmark of how design companies work. In Adobe, they have Photoshop to create and edit and composite an image to make an digital imaging. Premiere Pro is for you to make video. Illustrator is for you to make logos, characters, illustration. In design, if you want to make books, After Effects is you want to make visual effects, and Lightroom is for making to edit your own pictures. From that, we know that there are a lot of software for their own purposes, but sometimes us designers, we use those softwares and we coexist with them. We can do Photoshop with Illustrator, we can use After Effects and Premiere Pro, such as that. Aside from Adobe, software design that we can use are for 3D designing, such as Cinema 4D, Maya, and Blender to making 3D images, 3D environment, 3D animations. Next.
For the next one, we have skills that are important for designers. In my opinion, the skills that are important for designers are communication and collaboration, creative thinking, technical skills, solving, and market research. Next.
And then in part three, we will discuss about first types of graphic design software. In my opinion, there are many different graphic design software programs available, each with its own pros and cons. Adobe Creative Suite is the most popular, but it's the most expensive too. There are many affordable alternatives that are just as good, such as Affinity Designers. And the best software for you will depend on why you need it and how much you're willing to spend. If you're just starting out, I recommend trying one affordable or free options.
Though I do agree to an extent with this statement, sometimes picking the alternatives won't work in the long run, because in a normal workspace environment, the software that will be used is the most common one, and that is Adobe. Aside from that, there are more softwares than the normal ones, and that is 3D software, a software that can create 3D animations and environments. Nowadays, 3D skills are highly demanded by a lot of companies.
I do agree with both statements. There are so many others affordable alternatives, but like Gabriel said, that the most used software in normal workspace are the common ones like Adobe. So maybe the other alternative ones can be used as a study material for the beginners or the ones that still learning on making graphic design. Next. The next one, um, designing a book cover. In my opinion, when when we're going to design a cover for a book, it has to be relatable to the story and the concept. In concept, we usually make mood boards and stylescape, right? In there, you can decide what kind of color, typography, and art style for the book. So the cover should be still relatable with the concept uh, that we made. Because if we make it unrelatable, it's going to confuse the reader who will buy and read the book or make them uninterested on the book.
I agree with your statement, Kanza, but I would add that the target audience and tone of book should also be considered when designing the cover. And for example, a cover for teenagers might be more modern and edgy than a cover for adult novel. And similarly, a dark and mysterious novel might have a dark and brooding cover too, while a light and humorous novel might have a more whimsical cover.
Both statements aren't wrong, and I would say that I agree with most of it. In order for a book to gain its readers is from the illustration that it has in the cover of it. People nowadays are more interested in seeing pictures, especially a picture that is so simple that even at a glance can attract new readers. The next one is the use of illustration and photo to enhance the company's image and respectability. Illustration and photos are a very important aspect to strengthen your brand. It can be done in many forms, such as leaflets, brochures, company name cards, calendars, and any other types of ephemera. Through this, a brand can advertise themselves with merchandise and people would take notice of their brand efficiently.
I agree with you that illustration and photos can be important tools to strengthen a brand. However, I disagree that illustration and photos are always necessary for branding. Some brands, like technology companies and law firms, may not use many visual images. In fact, some brands could even be more effective if they adopted a more minimalist approach.
Yes, I agree with you because every designs of branding have its own target audience, and the use of illustration and photos are depending on what product and what are the target audience that they use. Next.
Then in part 4, we will discuss about do you think the media has a big impact over our lives every day? Yes, after we do research, the media is a source of information. The media is the primary source of information for most people. We rely on media to stay informed about current events, learn about the different cultures, and gain knowledge about a variety of topics. Media can also provide us with entertainment and escape. However, it is important to note that the media are not always neutral source of information, and the media can be biased and used to manipulate public opinion. It's important to be a critical consumer of media content and be aware of the potential for bias.
The next one is media plays a role in shaping our worldview. Media can have profound impact on our worldview. The images and messages we see in the media can shape our understanding of the world and our place in it. The media can also influence our values and beliefs. For example, the media can play a role in shaping our views about gender, race, and class. The media can also influence our views on violence, poverty, and other social issues. It is important to be aware of how the media can shape our worldview and to be critical of the message that we are exposed to.
Media can also be a tool for social change. Media can be a powerful tool for social change. Media can be used to raise awareness for important issues, mobilize public opinion, and bring out about change. For example, the media played an important role in the civil rights movement and the movement to end apartheid in South Africa. Media can also be used to challenge the status quo and promote social justice. For example, media can be used to give voice to marginalized groups and fight discrimination. Media can also be used to promote critical thinking and encourage people to question the world around them. In short, the media has a significant impact on our daily lives. Media is a source of information, a tool for shaping our worldview, and a tool for social change. It is important to be aware of the impact media has on our lives and use it wisely. That's all for our presentation. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.